It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good evening. Welcome to the Falcons Nest on the campus of Pennsbury High School as we get you ready for high school hoops. On the WBCB Sports Network, the Bensalem Owls have come to visit, and it is an appropriately chilly night here for winter athletics. And we have league action. Bensalem taking on Pennsbury, brought to you by Team Toyota. Thanks also to McCaffrey's Food Markets. McCaffrey's, exceptional every day. And the Pennsbury Falcons have been exceptional, off to a 3-0 start so far this season. Bensalem also winning their last 3 games, so they come in riding a bit of momentum. Thanks also to Dion Square Merchants, St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, BCWSA, powering portions of tonight's action on WBCB. Discount Auto, again, welcoming them into the Pennsbury family this season as they support Pennsbury Hoops on BCB along with the Trentonian. This is the Trentonian pregame show thanks to East Coast Printing, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Berg Pizza, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club, the Peruzzi Auto Group, and Puss and Boots Tavern. Well, guys, I missed the action on Tuesday, but it was finally a great night for Patrick Joshua as he was able to hit a bunch of shots, and Coach Emmy before the game just got a quick moment with him, and he said, yeah, it was a great shot-making night for Patrick, and finally able to hit a bunch of those looks that he's gotten throughout this season so far.
Yeah, it's been like a bottled-up energy of Joshua, and finally it exploded on Tuesday, 21 points, and he was great all over the floor, defensively, offensively. He was doing it all on his 16th birthday. It was a great night for the sophomore Joshua.
And Gus talking about the explosion and the energy. Coach Emmy also referencing the energy in this building, the Falcons Nest and the student section, and what they felt on Tuesday night at their home opener, getting that win over Truman. They are fueled by some of that energy, and tonight I think it's holiday night for the student. We see like reindeers and Santa Clauses and all kinds of stuff.
The themes are always so fun to see, and obviously, Mr. Ben Goldstein over there apparently said he had some influence in deciding what the themes are going to be. But yeah, just how we were saying before we even came in on the broadcast, I was saying how the student section was just very filled. It was packed. It was live. There were so many people here. The energy was high for the first game here at the Falcons Nest, and hope for it to continue as that Pennsbury team, it felt like they fed off it certainly throughout the night.
Yeah, and why not get into this Pennsbury thing this year? A lot to get excited about with great sophomores like Patrick Joshua and Braden Clark. But Coach Emmy, Ben, before the game said, hey, you're not anything until you knock off the champions. And the Bensalem Owls are league champions last year. And for Pennsbury, until they take down this team, this is going to be, a great measuring stick for them.
Yep, to beat the champs, you got to knock them out. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So that's what the Falcons do tonight. Bensalem, they lost a lot of seniors last year, but still a great group, a really well-coached group as well. So tall task for Falcons tonight, a big test, but they're ready for it.
Yeah, that coaching is part of the story this season with Bensalem. Coach Morris, who had been there over the past bunch of years, leading this team to league titles, he said goodbye, and in steps Jerry Devine for his first year as head coach of Bensalem Owl basketball. And Coach Emmy said, yeah, it's a whole new style, a whole new way of playing for Bensalem. And they did graduate a lot of talent, but they're looking to rebuild and spread the ball around. I asked some of the guys, who's your leading scorer and who's really been powering this team on the offensive end, and they say if it's working right, it's a very balanced approach where we spread the basketball around and we score by committee.
Yeah, and that's what you're kind of seeing in the same mirror for Pennsbury. You're looking in the mirror kind of almost, and how these teams are operating. This Pennsbury team lost a lot of talent last year, trying to, regroup, retool, and have a rejuvenated team, as they have a lot of younger guys coming into this team, and then different kind of playing styles. Pennsbury's trying to go with a little bit of a upward tempo offense, and so far it's seen balance as overall. First game, Braden Clark really took over as the scorer. Second game, Max Manga have a really good game. And then last game, it was Pat Joshua, the birthday boy. So you've seen a balanced offense for Pennsbury as well. So it's two teams that kind of have these similar identities and similar situations going at it here.
Yeah, Patrick Joshua turning 16, and with a breakout performance on his birthday was our DiLorenzo's the Berg player of the game. We'll see who we get to talk to after the game tonight. Not only is good job on the holiday theme, Ben. If it was that your choice?
So
I like the holly. I like the jolly.
Yeah, it's a good theme. We try to do it seasonally and see what's up with the USA on Tuesday, doing a little holiday. It's a little far away, but this is the last home game of 2025, so you kind of have to adapt.
My biggest concern is how does he pick the themes and have influence on the themes, but not participating in the themes? Where is your holiday?
I gotta be professional, man. Business casual on the broadcast.
My goodness gracious!
I thought he was going to come in his Grinch costume.
Yeah.
You got a couple of Grinches here.
I'm like Scrooge.
Holiday night for the student section and PRBL travel night, and so all the youth basketball players get to come in free, and they got an opportunity before the game, Ben, and I kind of lose perspective a little bit from what the young kids feel about the varsity basketball players, but they got to be in the team room before the game with Coach Emmy and the team getting hyped up for a huge game. That had to be a really special experience for all of those guys and inspire them. That's how you build a program.
I mean, I remember when I was little, I looked up to high school guy, like kids my age, as they were, the professionals. This was what you kind of looked at. I remember I met a D3 college baseball player, and I thought he was in the MLB. So it's just kind of you look up to these kind of guys, and it's cool that Coach Emmy and Pennsbury Falcons give them the opportunities to connect, and that's how you get players in the future. You build programs and you build connections.
Yeah, my math is correct. Ben looked up to me in high school, so I was his high school.
I ain't looking up to no Gus Barber.
Ben Goldstein looked up to Gus Barber. That's crazy.
All right, well, the starters out there for Pennsbury. We'll get the starting lineups in just a little bit, but it's going to be Clark, Kent, Breslin, Joshua, and Manga, the same starting five they've been going with throughout the season. For the Bensalem Owls, Aiden Mayfield, the 6'1 senior who's going to be playing football at Lehigh, will get the start, along with J.J. Borelli, Naaman Parmar, Michael Levister, and Jacob Eberhard, the 5'11 senior, and he's had a good season thus far. Bensalem Owls got started with a couple of tough games to Muhlenberg and Abington, but Coach Devine liked the way they competed, and this team, as they come together and build chemistry, they might see their best play in January after the holiday break, as we get league action going here on WBCB. The Bensalem Owls visiting the Pennsbury Falcons. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night here on WBCB.
And it's a big game when you bust out the big flag as well. Big flag night, big game night.
Big flag means big game. Big thanks to the Peruzzi Auto Group, Peruzzi Buick GMC, where their business is you. And right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, it's their year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras. They're also having a bit of a holiday throwdown because you can get 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras. And they have Buicks offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP with extraordinary savings. Now at Peruzzi, Buick GMC on Sierras and Buicks during this year-end clearance. And we thank them for powering portions of tonight's game. They're on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where their business is you.
Suburban 1 matchup between the Bensalem Owls and the Pennsbury Falcons. Tonight's color guard and big flag are provided by Pennsbury's own Air Force Junior ROTC. And tonight, our national anthem singer is Jade Kotzker. Jade is a junior at Pennsbury High School and is an active member of the choral department. In her free time, Jade performs in the community playing guitar and singing to audiences. Please rise for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's
Let's hear it for Jade Kotsker.
Yeah, nice job, nice job.
And thank you, Junior ROTC, for providing tonight's flag.
All right, Dan Mahoney on the PA. Starting lineups here for the McCaffreys, game of the night. Bensalem 3-2. The
And
Falcons,
now,
unblemished,
for
3-0
tonight's
record.
Starting lineups for the Bensalem Owls. Starting at forward, number 2, Aiden Mayfield. Starting at guard, number 3, Jason Borelli. Starting at forward, number 12, Naman Parmar. Starting at center, number 23, Michael Lavester II. And starting at guard, number 35, Jacob Eberhardt. The Owls are head coached by Mr. Jerry Devine. Assistant coaches Christopher Fedd, Joshua Jarrell, and Francis Robles. And now, the starting lineups for the Pennsbury Falcons. Starting at guard, number 4, Brady Kent. Starting at forward, number 21, Sean Breslin. Starting at guard, number 1, Braden Clark. Starting at guard, number 24, Patrick Joshua. And starting at forward, number 25, Max Manda. The Falcons are head coached by Mr. Wes Emmy, assistant coaches Kurt Bergman, Mike Higgins, Tyler Cesar-Reeves, and John Love. Tonight's officials are Joe Anhalt, George Pavlo, and Anthony Stella.
All right,
I thought
here we
Braden
go.
Clark was coming over to us for a second. with
Yeah, I
that
thought
shirt.
I was going to get a T-shirt, a rally
Ladies
towel.
and gentlemen, if you have family or friends who can't make this evening's game, have them watch the live stream on 1490 WBCB. Gus the Bus Barber, Chris Herbert, Dan, here to cover everything.
Well, big thanks to Dan Mahoney
I don't
for the
think
shout out.
You didn't say my last name.
He doesn't know you, Ben.
You just
He knows who I am.
You only need one
He
name.
knows who I am.
Ben, that's all they
Just Ben.
They know what's up when they hear Ben is helping us out at WBCB as
Yeah.
the Falcon passes by.
I locked eyes with him. That's why we made eye contact. We pointed at each other, so he shouted us out.
Momentary delay as they get the big flag folded up.
I didn't even
and,
realize they were still out there. Oh, my gosh.
yeah, a little patriotism to get things going, and big flag, as Ben says, means big game, and this one is a big one, a great measuring stick for both of these teams. League action tonight, and the Falcons win the tap over to Brady Kent.
Kent was exceptional on Tuesday night, 18 points. I mean, it really seemed like if you gave him a look from 3, it was automatic.
Thought about pulling the trigger there, takes it down, gives it over to Clark. He fires away. Rebound goes high into the air, and Max Manga pulls it down, but then steps out of bounds. Falcons tonight, the 6-foot sophomore guard Braden Clark with Brady Kent, the 5'10 junior. Sean Breslin, 6'5 junior. You got Pat Joshua, 6'3 sophomore guard, and Max Manga, 6'5 senior out there as the Bensalem Owls get to work against this Pennsbury defense, and they take it away. Coach Emmy said they've been getting turnovers, and they get one there. Joshua with a steal, and he lays it in.
Yeah, there's that up-tempo offense we've been talking about Pennsbury's going with recently. Joshua gets the ball, go downhill quickly, finds a lane, and hits an easy layup.
And here for Bensalem, Aiden Mayfield, 6'1 senior out there with J.J. Borelli, a 6-foot junior. That's Mayfield with the ball up top. They're joined by Parmar, 6'3 sophomore, nearly another Pennsbury takeaway, and then Kent with a block. Brady Kent snuffs out the shot from behind. Joshua around Mayfield, takes a little contact, and they're going to say the foul is on the floor. First one called tonight goes against the Bensalem Owls and is picked up by Mayfield.
High tempo start for the Falcons. They got 2 on the fast break from Joshua, a couple steals as well. So high tempo here from the Falcons, something we've seen all year.
They send it into Breslin. Catch and shoot. Can't hit the mark. And pulling it down is Parmar. Michael Levister II, the 6'2 senior guard, with Jacob Eberhard, 5'11 senior, rounding out this Bensalem Owls starting five, led by first-year head coach Jerry Devine. There's Mayfield, takes it along the baseline, cut off there and loses it. Kent shook it loose, and Breslin picks it up in transition. Clark gets it back from Joshua. Across to Kent. And now Falcons slow things down. Max Manga sees an opportunity to drive, takes it inside, drops it off to Breslin. Reverse lay-in.
Breslin.
Good job by Pennsbury there, not to really force anything, feel out the defense, and find an open man eventually.
Breslin bucket makes it 4-0. Falcons off to a good start. Pull up, jump shot, no. Eberhardt unable to connect. Manga in transition, takes it inside, lays it in. 6-0, and the Owls take a quick timeout. They want to talk things over with 5:33 to go in the first quarter.
Falcons taking advantage of these turnovers, 4 points off the 3 turnovers. And that is how you get started here at the Falcons' Nest.
And they are a team that likes to go, go, go. It led them to big wins over Northeast and Truman. And they're pouring it on to get things started here against the visiting Bensalem Owls. Tonight's game brought to you by the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Thanks to Lee Luckman and Medela Capital, proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball. And now open on Business Route 1 in Lawrence Township, the region's newest showroom for garage doors, entry doors, and windows, Jammer Doors at 2480 Brunswick Pike. That's right opposite the Lawrence Shopping Center, and is New Jersey and Bucks County's premier new showroom for garage doors, entry doors, right there on Business Route 1 opposite the Lawrence Shopping Center, Jammer Doors and Windows. We thank them for making portions of tonight's game possible on BCB. Looking to hit Eberhardt on a cut to the bucket. Breslin picks it up off the floor. Falcons with another takeaway. Kent takes it inside, rises up. His runner is good. And makes it 8-0.
Tough shot right there by Brady. Just getting some contact, going with the floater, still able to get that thing to fall.
Mayfield there called for the carry. Officials tonight, Joe Anhalt, George Pavlo, and Anthony Stelly. And it was Anhalt who was right on top of that one. Coach Emmy telling me that he really liked the way Pennsbury has been getting turnovers to start the season. And man, that's the way they're starting tonight's game. Joshua along the baseline, triple teamed, and he gets it taken away. Eberhardt over midcourt out to Parmar, and Parmar has his pass intercepted. Clark up to Breslin, puts on the brakes. His shot rejected. Nice job there by Levister. And then in transition, putting on the Jets, Aiden Mayfield with a bucket. Here comes Brady Kent. Tough finish for Kent. Gets it to go, and it's 10-2.
Kent picking up quick here off his great performance on Tuesday night, doing it this time in the paint.
There in the paint, Levister blocked by Joshua, throws it across. That pass, lucky that Bensalem holds on to it. Another shot underneath, this time by J.J. Borelli. And the Falcons defense just too good here so far. Bunch of steals and jump in the passing lanes. And now Manga gets the offense going. Clark picks up the dribble, shovels it down low to Joshua, and jumping that pass was Mayfield. And then a whistle and a foul. And this one picked up by Joshua. His first of the night.
Yeah, you saw Pat getting a little chippy with some Truman players last game on Tuesday, so he's not afraid to, show his emotions.
And I think some of that powers his game or allows him to get into the feel of the game.
Definitely something you can thrive off of when you're feeling good, show up your opponent a little bit. See it all the time.
Borelli throws it into the corner to Mayfield. Only a couple of returning seniors, a couple of guys with varsity experience, and Braden Clark almost with the steal. Loose on the floor, Bensalem picks it up, and then Eberhardt has a clear path and has a lay-in to make it 10-4. We get down under the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Big thanks to Lee Luckman, Medela Capital, and the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Club. Braden Clark hits the jump shot. Stop and pop. And everybody's getting into the scoring column here for Pennsbury. All 5 starters have scored. Kent breaks it loose, dives on the floor, bounces to Joshua, who slams it home. And talk about the juice. Joshua gets the juice flowing.
That's a sophomore. That's a sophomore.
Well, that's a perfect chant for the student section.
You don't see many sophomores doing that.
I mean, last year the chant was he's a freshman, and now as an underclassman and in his sophomore year, Patrick Joshua, big transition bucket, makes it 14-4, and the Owls will talk it over. They'll take a full timeout. We're going to keep it right here, recognize our community partners, all the sponsors making tonight's game possible. Thanks to Di Lorenzo's, the Berg Pizza at 8919 New Falls Road, Levittown, owned and operated by third-generation family member Tyler Di Lorenzo. And Tyler uses all the same recipes that his great-grandparents did back in the 1940s in Trenton's famous Chambersburg section. Try the only original Trenton tomato pie, other great gourmet pizzas, including their mustard pie, soups, fresh salads, hot sandwiches, great stuff at Di Lorenzo's, all served in a safe, clean environment. Eat in, take out, give them a call, and they will have things ready to go. 215-943-2605. Again, 215-943-2605 for Di Lorenzo's, the Berg Pizza, also in the Vermilion Square, right there, 8919 New Falls Road. And we thank them for helping us power Pennsbury basketball and Pennsbury athletics on WBCB. Some big Pennsbury athletics news that we will touch on at halftime as we get back to action. Bensalem out of the timeout, bounces into Borelli.
Falcons offense succeeding down low. They have 10 of their 14 points coming in the paint, along with 8 points off of Bensalem turnovers.
Try to bounce it to Parmar, shook loose by Kent. Breslin has it knocked away from him, and then Eberhardt able to keep it in play. Borelli takes it into the paint, in amongst the trees. And a good rebound inside, but travel called on the Pennsbury Falcons. They get Clark for taking steps. 1:48 to go, first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Chris Ermer with Ben Goldstein and Gus the Bus Barber. Pop out to Mayfield, lets the 3 go, and knocks it down.
Mayfield for 3.
Yeah, good shot by Bensalem there. Found some space in the corner. Why not let that thing fly? He gets it to fall.
Clark at the free throw line, out to Joshua. Joshua pulls up with a jump shot at the free throw line and knocks that one down. Gets his second bucket, makes it 16-7.
Very efficient with that pull-up mid-range so far this season Joshua has. Starting to think that might be his go-to shot.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was actually his third connection here in the first quarter. Don't want to shortchange him. As the Owls trying to deal with this Pennsbury defense, and they've been all over Bensalem. Eberhardt kicks out. Michael Elzey, who's their 6th man, came off the bench for him, but one of their big scoring threats now with the dribble up top. He's turned aside and has to give it up to Eberhardt. Eberhardt around Clark, takes it down low, but a good job by Breslin to change that shot. There's Elsie. Knocks down a baseline jumper. Big time connection. They needed that. Makes it 16-9. And we get down under a half a minute remaining here.
Yeah, last time it was an easy shot, nice wide open. That one tough. Good defense there by Pennsbury. Didn't look like he had a good angle. Still get that thing to fall.
Clark over to Joshua as Pennsbury will work for a final shot here in the first quarter. With 6 seconds, Clark, a little hesitation before he put the ball down and shuffles the feet and called for a travel as Zach Staines off the bench here for the Falcons. Tipped away by Clark, battling for it right in front of us, and the quarter comes to an end. Falcons 16, Owls 9. A battle of the birds here on WBCB High School Hoops, and we'll be back to the Falcons Nest
We have a special
for a second
contest
quarter action here in just a moment.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Hey, don't forget, if you miss any of tonight's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Complete local and national news 7 days a week. It's all in the Trentonian or online at trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. And again, thanks to the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Thanks to Lee Luckman, proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball here tonight. And thanks to the nice people at the concession stand who gave me a water.
There you go.
I need to stay hydrated as Elsie holds it for the Owls. Quarter number 2 just underway. Borelli hands off. Eberhardt now out to Elsie. Shovels out to Parmar. One of the guys unavailable tonight for Bensalem was one of their senior returning players, Kobe King. There's Elsie from downtown. Got it.
MJ Elsie for free.
Michael Elsie has 5 and pulls the Owls to within 4.
Yeah, finding some success from three-point land is Bensalem. That's what's keeping them in this game right now. Oh, excuse me, they called it a 2. Foot must have been on the line.
Joshua with the dribble gets a screen. Lets the 3 go. No, Max Manga battling underneath. There's Owen Hogenkamp trying to save it from going out of bounds, but he's the last to touch it, and it's Bensalem basketball. Minute gone in the second quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Great to have you with us. As Ben said in our Trentonian pregame activities, this is the last home game for Pennsbury here in 2025. They'll hit the road on Tuesday and take on Neshaminy as Joshua called for a blocking foul. And he'll sit down for a bit and bring Braden Clark back onto the floor.
Really clean first quarter on both sides, just one foul apiece. Now it's the second Falcon foul, both of them on Joshua.
Borelli looking for somewhere to go. And there is Elsie. He has lit it up off the bench here and been helped keep the Owls in this game. Pennsbury off to a good start. And Owen Hogenkamp
Fouls number 11, Owen
called for a
Hogenkamp
reach-in.
is first. Number 4, Brady Kent in the game. for Sean Breslin.
And as you heard from Dan Mahoney, Breslin to the bench. Kent back out onto the floor. And they throw it into Elsie. Elsie has Clark all over him, kicks out. Borelli thinks about the three, pulls it down. And then Zach Staines called for a reach-in foul.
Fouls on number 2, Zach Staines, his first.
As soon as I said it was the clean quarter, 3 early fouls here for Pennsbury in this second period. Just 2.5 minutes in.
Borelli out there with Eberhardt, Parmar. They drop it into Elsie. His shot never reaches the bucket. And then Max Manga in transition lost the handle and goes out of bounds back to the Owls. Manga right there. I mean, once you take it down low, almost looked like he was going to try to kick it back out again. That is one thing that can get the shooters going. There's Owen Hogenkamp from the corner. He launches a three. Elsie pulls down the rebound. Borelli puts on the brakes down low. Max Manga maybe got a piece of that shot and pulls down the miss. Manga and Breslin have done a good job inside to protect the rim. Clark from the free throw line. Man, that went halfway in, popped back out again. The rim giving Clark no love on that one.
Nice step back there, too. Got plenty of separation.
Elsie trying to pass it to Parmar. It's broken loose by Hogenkamp. Falcons with another steal. Zach Staines along the baseline. Kent over to Hogenkamp. Catch and shoot. Swish. Great ball movement by Pennsbury, and they cap it off with a three to make it 19-12. First bucket of the night for Hogenkamp. And just about everybody hitting shots for Pennsbury. Kick out to Mayfield. And overshoots the target and gets the business from the Pennsbury student section.
Yeah, if there's one place to not do it, it's right in front of the student section.
The ball goes out of bounds with 5:07 remaining in the second quarter. Last touched by Pennsbury, so we'll stay down here. Nick Bunda getting his first minutes. He's out there with Hogenkamp, Kent, Clark, Breslin for the Falcons. And the Owls send it in up top to Mayfield. Nimley getting his first moments tonight out there. Gets it down low to Eberhardt. They shut that down. Now a long shot. No connection, and Brady Kent in the paint breaks it loose. And then a foul in transition. This is going to be against Parmar. Picks up foul number 1. Yeah, Coach Emmy said, the Falcons have been getting a lot of turnovers, and they were in the first quarter, but Bensalem doing a good job adjusting and staying in this game. Under Coach Devine, a whole new style of play for the Falcons compared to the Coach Morris regime. As Clark takes it inside, drops it to Bunda, and Nick Bunda banks it home.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, everybody is scoring tonight. Guys off the bench, all the starters.
And great control right there by Brady Clark. Looked like he had a ball on a string.
Out to Elsie. Elsie from downtown off the back rim. No, Mayfield with a great job to pull that rebound down and then to knock it off of Sean Breslin. Oh no, last to touch it was Mayfield.
Looks like there was a foul, Mayfield foul on the way down.
So the Falcons now facing a little bit of pressure, and Coach Emmy saw that Braden Clark wasn't getting a lot of help, and he takes timeout with 4:02 to go in the second quarter. And after Coach Emmy took timeout, Braden was telling his teammates, come on, I need a little bit of support to get the ball over midcourt. Well, timeout on the floor here. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Falcons in front of the Owls, 21-12. Thanks to East Coast Printing, 215, your go-to source for custom apparel and printing in the 215 area and beyond. East Coast Printing 215, they bring your ideas to life. Custom screen printing, direct-to-film printing, embroidery, and custom orders from t-shirts, hoodies, hats. They'll do bags for you. If you can imagine it, East Coast Printing 215 will bring it to life. Whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your brand, creating something unique for yourself, maybe creating something unique for the holidays, your go-to source for top quality, very quick turnarounds, East Coast Printing 215 in the Morrisville Shopping Center, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8, Saturdays open 11 to 3. Hogenkamp fires away from distance, and Elsie with the rebound brings it up the floor. Rebounding was one of the big things Bensalem was focusing on this game, trying to make sure that the Falcons only have one shot each possession. There, the shot taken by Parmar, that one goes in and out.
Well, Bensalem's done a pretty good job with that. They've pulled in 4 defensive rebounds. Falcons just getting a second chance.
Clark there with a burst on the drive to the bucket and gets like a push in the back. And Eberhardt called for the foul. That's his first of the night.
Illegal block in the black. Wrong sport. So
Clark inbounding to Breslin. And Breslin drives and gets the finish. Breslin with his second bucket of the night. Elsie with some nifty dribbling. Now Eberhardt, he retreats a little bit. Brady Kent comes out to meet him. Knocked loose, and last off of Aiden Mayfield goes out of bounds.
Number 10, Emiliano Carasquillo.
The Falcons winning another turnover.
10th turnover tonight for Bensalem.
So Joshua off the bench, and Hogenkamp will get a breather. Emiliano Carasquillo out there, the 6'2 senior, had to make an equipment adjustment as Joshua sends it into Breslin and gets it back and walks it over the midcourt stripe. Bounces to Breslin. The other thing looking forward to, heard from our WBCB Sports Director Brianne O'Neill as Clark in heavy traffic sends up the shot and gets the bounce, finally falls through, also gets the whistle, so count the bucket, and he'll have a chance at the line.
Well, we've been tracking his number at the free throw line. I think we were at 15, 20.
Yeah, this is his first trip tonight.
Yeah, first tonight at 2 on Tuesday.
Brianne was saying we're going to be bringing some of our WBCB sports coverage back to the radio, and some of these games will be played back on WBCB Sports. Looking forward to that. I mean, that's been something that we've talked internally about and wondered about for quite some time, and some of the stuff we're doing here, video streaming it live on YouTube. We're also going to be sharing the call of the game at 1490 AM and 107.3 FM, you know, kicking it old school at WBCB.
I love to hear that.
Mayfield with the dribble, gives it over to Eberhardt. Eberhardt working against Zach Staines, likes the matchup, takes him down low, but is cut off. Gets it right back and nearly steps out of bounds. Walking the tightrope just in front of Coach M. He splits a couple of defenders. Gets it to Mayfield, and one. Aiden Mayfield, count the basket, and he'll step to the line. Staines picks up foul number 2.
Shooting 1. 25, Max Manga. 24, Patrick Joshua.
Aiden Mayfield, a huge difference maker for the Bensalem Owl football team. Again, he'll be playing football at Lehigh. And sometimes it's difficult to make that transition from the football field onto the basketball court, and it takes a little bit. I was talking with Jeff Purr from Bensalem, and he said this team probably going to be playing its best basketball in January, as that free throw off the mark, but taken away from Manga, and a foul on the floor as they get Karakio. And they'll say that one not a shooting foul.
Clark is first.
And Clark picks up foul number 1.
Jason Burley in the game for Aiden Mayfield.
So Mayfield to the bench as Borelli back out onto the floor. And no, they actually wanted to get Vose on the bench, and they want Mayfield out there.
Oh. They're giving him shots now, it looks like.
Yeah, they just went into the bonus.
There we go.
So 2 at the time for Karakio, with 1:55 to go before the break. PRBL travel night and the holiday theme for the Pennsbury student section. Well, so far, neither of these teams has done very well at the free throw line. Has anybody hit a free throw yet?
Falcons are 1 for 1. Bensalem is 0 for 4.
And they're up 26-14. Brady Kent gets it from Clark. Those two throw it back and forth, and now Max Manga starts to dribble, picks it right up again. He's in a little bit of trouble, and we'll get it up to the logo to Clark. Breslin out to Kent. Nice entry to Manga. Give the assist to Braden Clark. The bucket to Max Manga, and the Falcons extend their lead to 28-14. Nice job right there, kind of exploiting a hole in the Bensalem defense. Max Manga with a bit of a size advantage, and there a miscue. Eberhardt was looking for Mayfield, but Mayfield made a cut, and the ball just thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there for Bensalem.
So whether it's miscues or the Pennsbury defense, they have turned it over a bunch here in this first half of play, leading to a big Pennsbury advantage. Breslin inside to Manga, post move off the back rim, no. Doesn't quite get the finish. Good work inside there by Manga as Elzy with the dribble for Bensalem, picks it up, Breslin all over him. Bounces to Eberhardt. Eberhardt marked by Joshua, step back, tries to bank that one home, too strong. Clark over midcourt, looks up at the clock and recognizes got about 20 seconds left. Some oohs and ahs on a crossover.
Got him a little bit.
Testing the ankles of Mayfield.
Got 5.
Manga, little spin move inside and gets the bounce off the front rim to bring us to halftime and to increase the Pennsbury lead to 30-14. McCaffrey's game of the night here on WBCB.
That's the end of the first half.
And big thanks to all of our community sponsors, including the Trentonian. If you missed the action here on BCB, read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. All right, we're going to step aside. We'll return to take a look at first half scoring and stats and get you ready for second half action. Pennsbury in front of Bensalem here after the first half. High school hoops on WBCB.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Wayner Nationwide Insurance, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Since 1954, the name McCafferty has stood for outstanding automotive sales and service. Today, Patrick McCafferty continues that tradition at Discount Auto, right here in our own backyard on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. Discount Auto has over 100 hand-picked pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, all fully inspected and ready to go. Discount Auto, the perfect place for your kid's first car. Discount Auto, the perfect place for a fine pre-owned family car or an SUV or even a van. Discount Auto, they're locally owned and operated by Patrick McCafferty, who supports our community. The name McCafferty means great automotive sales and service at Discount Auto, Business Route 1 at Oxford Valley Road, Langhorne.
You know, McCaffrey's Food Market is exceptional every day, and they are proud to serve you since 1986. They're a local hometown business. They support your community, whether it's helping flood victims or holding fundraisers for the American Cancer Society or employing our local high school students. McCaffrey's is always there. They have the finest products, prime cuts of meat, a prepared food department where everything is made fresh daily, and also a fresh seafood department. Visit McCaffrey's Food Market near you in Yardley, Newtown, New Hope, Princeton, West Windsor, Gladwin, and Doylestown. They are exceptional every day, and they are local and proud of it. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
14-19.
All right, welcome back to the Falcons' Nest. It's halftime with Pennsbury in front of Bensalem, 30-14. We got our half-court shooting contest, which is just about to wrap up because the Falcons are back out from the locker room and ready to get going. It's PRBL travel night, so all of the PRBL guys who are here, the youth basketball players, got to be in the locker room at halftime with the Falcons, hearing Coach Emmy and getting the whole atmosphere here tonight.
Yeah, Emmy may have had to change some of the language that he might have been projecting this evening, but, you know.
Well, fortunately, they're up 30-14, so that helps.
You know, don't have to be too, you know. You can be easier to be a little G-rated tonight.
Yeah, you can coach with praise here and correct some of the things that have plagued this Pennsbury team, but so far things going very well. Let's take a look at first half scoring for the Falcons. They were led by Max Manga with 8. 5 coming from the sophomore Braden Clark, 4 from fellow sophomore Pat Joshua, 4 from Sean Breslin, and 4 from starter Brady Kent. And then you got Owen Hogenkamp coming off the bench. He connected with a 3 and 2 points coming from Nick Bunda. And for the Pennsbury Falcons, 30 first half points. Bensalem, 7 from Aiden Mayfield. He led them in scoring, 5 from Michael Elzey, who comes off the bench and connected with some big buckets, and 2 points coming from Jacob Eberhard. So 14 for the Bensalem Owls as we turn to Ben Goldstein for some more of our first half stats tonight.
All right, we'll start with the Pennsbury Falcons, who are shooting 13 for 20 from the field. That's good for 65%. However, they're just 1 for 6 from beyond the arc, which is 16%, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, which is a perfect 100%. They also have 11 boards, 10 of them coming on the defensive end, and the big number here, 8 steals to 8 turnovers. They're doing a good job in that department, along with 2 blocks. And another big note, points in the paint. They have 17 of those, so a lot of these Falcon points coming from down inside. Meanwhile, for Bensalem, they're shooting 6 for 17 from the field, just 1 for 4 from 3, and 0 for 4 from the free throw line, just 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 11 turnovers. So the turnover to steal ratio is certainly telling of how this one is going here tonight.
Well, great to be at the Falcons' Nest with you tonight. And the Falcons with just a couple of home games. They were here on Tuesday. They defeated Truman 71-43. And tonight taking on Bensalem. And then they go on the road. They'll take on Neshaminy next week on Tuesday before wrapping things up before the holiday break, where they're going to be playing in a tournament at the Shore up in Wildwood, New Jersey. But yeah, they're not getting a lot of games here at home before they hit the holiday break. So they got to make the most of it. And so far they've done that with a big win over Truman and a great start tonight against Bensalem, but some work in front of the Falcons. And big thanks to all of our sponsors helping to power tonight's game, including the Peruzzi Auto Group. And for value and service on all makes and models, free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service, a 10% military and law enforcement discount on any service. You buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. Peruzzi with big comfy waiting rooms at their dealerships, free Wi-Fi, early drop-off. Peruzzi service, open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 6. Saturdays open 7:30 to 4:30. But the Peruzzi Auto Group service for all makes and models. Visit a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. Gus got some surprising news earlier today when we heard that Pennsbury Falcon football head coach Galen Snyder has stepped aside and resigned his post. And be interesting to see what happens from here, but he leaves coaching the Pennsbury Falcons over 18 seasons, picking up a couple of district titles. His resume has a lot. Even when he came back that first year when he returned to the Falcons and they ripped through the league, really impressive stuff, and helped to create a certain brand, the ground and pound Pennsbury approach. And it'll be interesting to see what's next for Pennsbury football, but certainly big news today as head coach Galen Snyder departs.
Yeah, trying to get a new identity in here for Pennsbury, but yeah, it's very sad news. Is like you said, 18 years over 2 different tenures right here at Pennsbury. It's going to be a tough saying goodbye, but bringing in a new face to rejuvenate this Pennsbury squad should be a fun one, to say the least, for next year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I did get a quick word with athletic director Lou Sutholtz, and he was saying he was hoping that Galen was going to have a couple more seasons in him, maybe take him up to his Pennsbury retirement, but it's such a commitment. I think he said, he had enough and leaves on his own terms as going to be a new head coach for Pennsbury next season.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. When I look at this District 1 Boys Championships list on the left side of the court, there are 5 teams up there, 2 of them coached by Snyder, and that's really the legacy that he's going to leave behind here at Pennsbury. One of the best coaches here in this school's history. And it's, tough to see him go, but new look for the Falcons, and it'll be exciting what the future holds for that program.
All right, we get back to action, and Braden Clark forces the issue there, gets himself to the line.
Second time tonight. Mark that down.
And we're tracking his trips to the free throw line because he's been getting himself there with some frequency. Going to be interesting to see how many trips he takes over the entire season as he hits from the line to extend the Pennsbury lead. McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day, and we thank them for making portions of tonight's game possible. 2 for 2 at the stripe. And the Falcons up 32-14. Well, one thing for Bensalem, it is a rebuilding, a year where they don't have a lot of experience. Parmar downtown. Rebound goes high into the air. Max Manga secures it for Pennsbury. Crossover from Clark. Drive, left-handed finish. Oh, yeah.
Man, he is just so shifty. Braden Clark always got that ball on the string.
And the quickness, impressive right there. Blows by his defender. Borelli trapped, and the Falcons tie him up. No, they're going to say Kent with a foul. I don't think so.
Foul's number 4, Brady Kent, his first.
Kent over there in disbelief.
Yeah, I don't.
We got about a minute
Tough
gone
one
here in the third quarter.
Tough one down there. I don't know how much. I don't know about that one, Jim.
Thanks, Tony.
I don't know, Jim.
Who am I then, Dean?
Yeah, you're the referee guy, the rules analyst.
Blandino. Elzy, great drive and a right-handed finish. MJ Elzy with 7 points. He and Aiden Mayfield leading the Owls in that category. Joshua with the drive between two defenders. Doesn't get the finish, but also doesn't get the whistle. Emmy saying he should have been at the line right there. Mayfield gets bottled up. Over to Eberhardt. He pulls up. Jump shot, no. Manga tips it away. Loose on the floor. Elzy has it for the Owls. And holds out on the wing. Over to Eberhardt. Eberhardt just inside the free throw line. His jump shot rattles around and is rebounded by Breslin. Owls not having the best shooting night tonight. That's when they've been able to get decent looks at the bucket. That's been a problem because Pennsbury has forced a ton of turnovers.
Just 7 for 21, Bensalem. Nice move by Clark.
Wow, again, another crossover, blow by the defender, and another trip to the free throw line for the Pennsbury sophomore.
When Clark puts on the Jets, man, it's just barbecue chicken from there. Forget it.
Braden Clark to the line, shooting 2.
Don't forget you missed the action. Read about it in the Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Clark has been terrific at the free throw line tonight.
For Naaman Parmar.
Meanwhile, as he's at the free throw line, Coach Emmy is continuing to tell the official that they should have got the whistle on the last Patrick Joshua drive.
Clark 5 for 5 from the line.
And extends it to a 20-point Pennsbury advantage. Mayfield puts it on the floor, drives underneath, scoop shot, no. Breslin with the block. Break out the Dikembe Mutombo, wagging the finger, and this time on the drive, Joshua does get the whistle and will head to the line. Blocking foul on Bensalem comes with 5:30 in the third quarter.
24, Patrick Joshua to the line, shooting 2.
Caraquillo, his second foul. Yeah, the rivalry renewed on Tuesday. Falcons travel to Neshaminy. And then they have a boys-girls doubleheader on Friday at Council Rock North. Joshua here taking his time, second free throw. Knocks it down. And the Falcons up big here in the third quarter. And that's one of the things Coach Emmy talked about with the speed the Falcons play, the go, go, go approach that they have this season. Sometimes they've been able to really extend leads. They did it against Truman. They did it against Palumbo.
It's a game of runs, and if you can stay on a good run throughout the majority of the game, you know, this Falcons team, they're going to win a lot of games.
Elsie with a three-pointer, no. Eberhardt, rebound underneath, another block, give it to Breslin. Kent on the floor, and Kent tied up by Eberhardt. I'm not sure what the call is. Right now, the possession arrow favoring the Falcons.
We're going to have a discussion here.
The officials will talk it over. And for complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Auto Group for value and service on all makes and models. Free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service. And it looks like it will be Pennsbury basketball when we get back to action. Falcons with a 30-second timeout. And again, thanks to Peruzzi. Visit a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. Well, holiday night is the theme for the student section. And throughout the holidays, you can get things hooked up, catered by the Peruzzi, by Puss in Boots. In Fairless Hills, they'll do all the work for you, cater any affair. Puss in Boots will set everything up for you, featuring the same great menu that has made them famous for over 50 years. They even have a special brunch menu. Puss in Boots, they can even bring their food truck to a holiday event. Voted one of the best food trucks in the area. Don't forget gift cards from Puss in Boots, great stocking stuffers. For more info about catering, Puss in Boots, you can call them at 215-295-8236. Falcons spread the floor, get it to Kent. He launches the three, no good, but poke loose. And Breslin secures the rebound. Kent with another shot from distance, no. Breslin again gets it back for the Falcons. And Max Manga with a little finger roll to give him 10 points tonight and put the Falcons up 39-16. Elsie working against Clark. You know, Clark's quickness, impressive on the offensive end, but he's been doing a great job defensively, staying in front of his guy as that ball deflected out of bounds. And will
Full timeout, Bensalem.
Timeout taken by the Bensalem Owls with 4:11 to go here in the third quarter of our McCaffrey's Game of the Night. We'll step aside and return to the Falcons' Nest in just a moment.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Wayner Nationwide Insurance, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
4:11 remaining in the third quarter. McCaffrey's Game of the Night on WBCB here at the Falcons' Nest. And The Owls out of the timeout. Trying to get something going. They bounce it into Elsie. Elsie with a step-back jump shot in the paint, gets it to go. Elsie now with 9 to lead the Owls tonight. Joshua over to Kent. Clark back to Joshua. 3 ball off the front rim, no. Knocked loose by Breslin, picked up by the Owls, up the floor to Mayfield, and he gets the finish. Mayfield with a lay-in, gives him 9, and away from the action as the ball was inbounded to Clark. Looks like he has like a non-contact injury.
For Braden Clark.
And good to see him walking over to the sideline, but almost looked like he felt something in his calf muscle. And trainer Shan Barrett will take a look and see what is bothering the Pennsbury sophomore. Tries to stretch that one out. Breslin with a 3. Underneath, Kent with the rebound, but he steps on the out-of-bounds line. Now, fortunately here for kind of watching the situation with Braden Clark, could be a big development for Pennsbury basketball, and just see him kind of stretching out that calf. That's maybe it's just a cramp.
And the place he grabbed it looked like the lower calf, almost near the Achilles. So you always get worried nowadays with all the Achilles injuries we see in professional sports.
Looking for the entry there, and Zach Staines, too much contact with Elsie, and Staines picks up his 3rd. .308 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They inbound to Eberhardt. His 3, no good. Underneath, it's Caraquillo who battles for it and works his way to the free throw line. And Breslin picks up his first foul tonight. Carrasquillo, second trip to the stripe.
Number 5, Max Katz in the game for Zach Staines.
Max Katz getting some minutes tonight. Zach Staines with those 3 fouls. He'll sit down for a bit. Yeah, tough one there. The 0 for at the line.
0 for 6. That's
Breslin with a pass across the paint over to Manga, but they call him for an offensive foul.
21, Sean Breslin, 2nd.
Momentum had him right into the defender. As Manga with a quick adjustment.
Looking back at the Clark injury, he went up for a block and landed awkwardly on that right foot. And now it's that lower calf Achilles area is where he immediately went to grab as he banged into the wall. Now over the, look at it, checking back into the game now.
Wow, another Breslin block. Manga picks it up, and it's deflected out of bounds by the Owls.
That's a good sight for Falcon fans.
Absolutely.
For Brady Kent.
Maybe just a little cramping in his calf muscle. He's right back out on the floor.
See if that impacts him any way in his game.
Joshua across the floor to Breslin. Gets it back, steps through a couple of defenders, rises up, and hits another bucket. Makes it 41-20. Eberhardt there, looked like he knocked Clark right in the jaw. Mayfield underneath, goes up for the shot, and Manga whistled for the foul, will send him to the line.
Fouls number 25, Max Manga, his first.
Well, it's a good start to the season for the Pennsbury Falcons, picking up wins over Northeast Palumbo in that SOL Public League tournament, and they got their league play started on Tuesday, taking care of Harry S. Truman. You look at how the league stacks up. Bensalem, they have been the one of the top programs in the area. So you look at this game as a big measuring stick, and the Falcons have been up to the challenge. Meanwhile, Mayfield, one of the real bright spots for Bensalem tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he just made their first free throw.
And he's in double digits with 11. Joshua picks up the dribble, bounces to Manga. Little triangle up top, and then as Joshua got things going.
Number 11, Owen Hogenkamp in the game.
Called for the travel.
For Sean Breslin.
So Breslin to the bench, Manga back out there. You got Clark, Joshua, Katz, Hogenkamp, and Manga. Meanwhile, for Bensalem, Eberhard out there with Elzy. Casacchio off of the leg of Eberhard, picked up by Clark, and he finishes at the rim.
I think it's safe to assess that calf isn't bothering him anymore. I'm going to play.
Not only a great play, but it looked like there was enough there maybe for a whistle and a foul. And then on the other end, foul picked up by Joshua.
Number 3, Jason Borelli in the game.
And for Joshua, that's number 3. So with 1:35 to go in the third quarter, that puts the Owls in the bonus and sends Elzy to the line.
I don't think they ever put Braden Clark's points on the scoreboard. I got 45 on my scoreboard.
Elzy rattles that one home as the free throw shooting improving for Bensalem here in the third quarter. Emiliano sits down. Parmar back on the floor for Bensalem. And Elzy 2 for 2, making a 20-point game. Hogenkamp racing it up the floor, out to Manga. Manga dribbles into the paint, sends it out to Katz. Katz drives inside, rises up. His shot can't connect, and Elzy flips it over to Mayfield. And Mayfield retreats. Poked away by Manga, and Max Manga with the steal, and then he is fouled. Mayfield with the reach in.
Mayfield is second. Number 4, Brady Kent in the game for Max Katz.
Is that going to put Pennsbury at the bonus? Not yet. They get one more to put the Falcons in the bonus in the third quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Ooh. Clark harassed there by Borelli. But the other thing about Clark, gives it over to Kent. Kent connects from downtown.
Not a good shooting night from 3 for the Falcons, just 2 for 11, but a big 3 there from Kent.
Brady Kent makes it 46-23. Parmar tied up inside, able to get it to Nimley. And Nimley with his first bucket tonight. Nice job up the floor to Joshua. And then Max Manga fouled by Mayfield. Mayfield felt like it was clean up top, but you heard the slap.
It was loud. It's loud in this gym, but you can hear that from all the way over here.
25, Max Manga to the line.
Yeah, they got the juice going tonight here at the Falcons' Nest. And a lot to be excited about this season for Pennsbury basketball.
Sean Breslin in the game.
One of the things that's been exciting to see last year into this year is the development of this young man, Max Manga, and to see how this season can help to shape him into the player that the Falcons need inside. Help to give him the confidence as he hits the free throws, makes it 48-25, and Bunda comes on for him.
One thing that the SOL lacks, specifically the SOL Patriot, is big men. There are not a lot of big centers, and when you have a guy like Menga, he's not the biggest, but he is tall. He's able to out-physical some guys. I mean, you can have some sort of stability at your 5 in this league. That's going to go a long way for the Falcons this year.
Yeah, another big man coming off the bench for the Falcons is Nick Bunda.
And he's been great off the bench when they needed him for Pennsbury.
Yeah, but right there, a little disappointed
Not great there, no.
Called for the foul well away from the bucket.
When they have needed him to get minutes for Manga, he has come through for Pennsbury. So good stuff so far this season from Nick Bunda.
Good stuff from Nick, also good stuff from Max. And not only the size, but also the athleticism.
Yep. Good stuff from everyone so far.
Yeah, Falcons off to a 4-0, well, excuse me, a 3-0 start. Jumping the gun tonight, but things well in hand.
I mean, the Bensalem student section's leaving.
Brady Kent there, bumped by Elsie. Sends him out of bounds and will send the Falcons to the free throw line as that puts him in the bonus.
Fouls on number 32, MJ Elsie, his first.
Missed the action tonight. Read about it in the Trentonian. Thanks also to the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club and Medela Capital. Lee Luckman and Medela Capital proudly supporting Pennsbury Boys Basketball. We thank them for being on hand tonight. Yeah, all of the starters in the scoring column. Most of the guys off the bench tonight have been able to connect as Max Katz about to check back in.
Number 5, Max Katz in the game for Brady Kent.
So Kent hits at the free throw line, and then he'll hit the bench as Max Katz back out on the floor for the Falcons. Elsie driving, Breslin with another rejection.
So
I think he's got a handful.
4 or 5?
4 for sure. I feel like I might have missed one. Heck, I'll give him an even half dozen. I mean, he's been very active inside. There, the inbound deflected away, and at the buzzer, Clark throws it the length of the floor to bring us to the end of quarter number 3. Pennsbury in front of Bensalem, 50-26. Here in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Coming right back to the Falcons' Nest with quarter number 4 in just a bit.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
The fourth quarter with the Pennsbury Falcons in front 50-26, their second league game as they beat Truman here at the Falcons' Nest 71-43 on Tuesday night. That was a great shot-making night for Patrick Joshua. Tonight, a great team performance for Pennsbury. Everybody getting into the action. Bensalem operating out of the timeout. Elsie calling out a play up top. Guarded by Joshua, gets a little bit of space, picks up the dribble and throws it over to Nimley. Nimley starts a little bit of a weave, thought to get it to Mayfield. Instead, it's Parmar along the baseline, and he forces his way underneath the bucket and banks that one home. Parmar makes it 50-28. A little pressure from Bensalem, but Pat Joshua too quick. And draws a foul on Eberhardt. Eberhardt picks up foul number 2 tonight. Yeah, a whole new look for Bensalem this season under first-year head coach Jerry Devine. Before tonight, they had won back-to-back-to-back games, and they knew this was going to be one of the toughest teams they've seen so far. Inside to Bunda across the paint to Breslin. Breslin goes up for it, gets it knocked away. Bunda has it, battling for possession, and they'll call a tie-up.
Jump ball, Pennsbury ball.
And it's Falcons with the arrow. So we'll stay down here, and Clark will put it in play. Great to see Braden Clark back out there on the floor. There was a moment in the third quarter where he came down off of a rebound and looked like he might have hurt his calf, and maybe it was just a little bit of a calf cramp. There, Breslin's pass intercepted by Mayfield, and he goes coast to coast and lays it home. Into Bunda. Yeah, Bensalem with a little bit of backcourt pressure before they allow Joshua to bring it over midcourt. Joshua driving, rises up, tries to lay that one home, just comes off the rim. Back the other way, Eberhardt. His three is no good. And Clark loses possession, and they're going to say it's last off of him. Clark looking for a foul. I mean, there was somebody right under him.
Number 4, Brady Kent.
Like, that's a dangerous situation, and typically I think you get the benefit of the whistle.
Yeah, it looks like he cut his legs out from under him, but doesn't get the benefit of the call.
Not that time.
No, not at all.
So the Owls give it to Nimley, who looks for somewhere, and Elsie was looking for the inbound. Pat Joshua with some tough defense.
It's his fourth.
Joshua gets knocked to the floor. I thought that was Elsie kind of instigating that action as well over there. Yeah, but a fourth foul on the Pennsbury sophomore. Up top to Parmar. Bounces to Elsie. Elsie's three rims out. Clark bounces inside to Manga. Manga goes up with the shot, takes a little contact, gets to the line.
Fouls on number 35, Jacob Eberhardt, his third.
At the half, it was 30-14, Falcons in front, and it seems like all night they've had like a 20-point advantage. They got up early on this team. It was 16-9 after the first quarter, and they just stretched that lead throughout the night. Hogan camp out. Joshua will sit down with those 4 fouls.
There never was a point in this game where it felt like Pennsbury wasn't in the lead or in control of the game that's in any aspect. It felt like it was their game right from the tip-off.
And it's important when you get up like that to not take your foot off the gas and let a team get back in it. That's kind of what you see from the Philadelphia Eagles this season. Get up big, take your foot off the gas, get a little conservative. Falcons, they keep pushing, squish that bug when it's down. That's how you win games.
Yeah, they got 3 bugs squished so far. 3-0 record coming into this one. There, Nimley takes the Eberhardt pass, nearly lost it. Mayfield with it out on the wing. Flips it out to Eberhardt. Eberhardt rising up right near the free throw line, no. And Hogenkamp deflects it to Manga. Manga with a pass to Clark. Falcons a little loose with the basketball there on that sequence. And maybe credit Nimley up top. I mean, he is doing everything he can defensively, and Breslin off balance, out of control, tried to shovel it over to Hogenkamp and sends it out of play.
And number 3, Jason Borelli for Bensalem.
J.J. Borelli back out for the Owls. And Matt Richard also on the floor. Wow, what was that? Somehow Bensalem messed up the inbound. I'm looking in a different direction. I mean, Coach Devine doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, it just kind of looks like it was it got kicked out of there a little bit, like a hockey face-off.
Well, a mistake for the Owls, and the Falcons get the basketball and send it in to Braden Clark.
Clark got rung up in the chin there.
Wow, what a pass there. As Joshua finds Clark cutting to the basket, they don't get the finish as Clark's shot deflected. Nimley battling for space against Hogenkamp. Yeah, well, Falcons are going to look to keep things going on Tuesday as they travel to Neshaminy. Hook shot there by Parmar, just off the rim.
And you want to talk about a big game coming up. That's a big one on Tuesday.
No question, not only the rivalry, but Neshaminy might be one of the teams in the league to give the Falcons a run this year.
What was their score against North Penn? Gus, 90 to 80?
Yeah, it was a very high-scoring game. Went to overtime.
Kent from distance, no. Long rebound and diving for it on the floor. Somebody's got to pick that thing up. Finally, Nimley has it for the Owls. Passes it underneath to Elsie. Elsie over to Parmar. Again, unable to connect. Even when the Owls have had some shots and some looks, has not been a good shooting night for them. Parmar out of control, and Kent.
There's bodies flying all over the place.
Yeah, that's another foul on Kent that I just looked like Parmar was out of control. He had gone to the floor, but Kent picks up a reach-in and his 4th foul tonight.
2 guys for Pennsbury with 4 fouls.
Yeah, Joshua back in to action, and he's got 4 fouls. Send it in that time to Richard. Richard's left-handed hook comes up a little short. Clark this time, he has a great pass to Joshua. Joshua reverse lay-in along the baseline. And the Falcons in front 54 to 30. Student section chanting, "Start the buses." As you know, like you said, Gus, this one felt like it has been in control throughout the night tonight.
Yeah, and they're just trying to look out. You know, they know it's cold out. They want to warm up the bus so it's nice and warm inside. You don't want to chill out. You don't want to get beat in a cold bus.
Looking out for our guests.
Absolutely. But yeah, just the whole game, it felt like it was Pennsbury's game to lose, in a sense. Right from the tip, Pennsbury just took control and just never let the foot off the gas.
Brendan Ryan and Quentin Schaefer on the floor. Max Manga and Patrick Joshua. Their night might be done, as the score indicates that the job pretty much done tonight. And as much as you have to account for Clark, Joshua, Manga on the offensive end, I think what we're seeing pretty consistently now from Pennsbury is that teams can't handle the defensive intensity. And Falcons winning the turnover battle again tonight. That's been something that's been consistent with this team in the first few games. Clark sends it over to Hogenkamp. Rebound underneath, and a whistle And the foul goes against Quentin Schaefer.
Fouls number 40, Quentin Schaefer is first. Number 11, Rishi Patel in the game.
Looks like the Falcons are set to empty the bench.
Number 3,
Wozniak Halwani into the action.
in for Brady Kent.
James Achuff will check in.
Sean Breslin. 34, James Acuff in the game.
Well, and this
For
has been
Brandon Clark.
something the Falcons have also done consistently, gotten their starters out in the fourth quarter when the game is well in hand. They did it against Northeast, against Truman, and here tonight against the Owls.
Yeah, you can only do that when you're up big, and this Pennsbury's been up big a lot early in this season. As a testament, we've seen a lot of these guys early in the season.
Matt Richard there with a bucket for Bensalem to make it 54-32. And having some of these guys on the floor that don't get a lot of minutes brings a whole new energy to the student section, to the Falcons nest. If any of these guys connect, there's going to be a huge roar. Meanwhile, though, the Falcons really don't have to take another shot if they just want to spread the floor. There's a drive by Achuff. And a reaching foul called on Bensalem.
Patel is first.
Patel picks up the foul. I mean, not only the student section gets a little bit more excited, but the bench always loves it when the guys who are part of the program do so much work in practice and sacrifice their time are able to get out there and make something happen on the offensive end. On either end of the floor. Get some, there's Brendan Ryan from downtown. No. Borelli sends it into the corner, gets it back up top, pump fake. Gets the defender moving, picks it up inside, loses it momentarily, holds on to it. 3 for the Owls, no good from Vos. And inside, good job there by Quentin Schaefer. Grabs the rebound. Halwani over to Achuff, 3, yes!
James Acuff for 3.
And James Acuff, 3 ball. Extends this Pennsbury lead. Impressive night for the Pennsbury Falcons. Again, against the defending league champs.
Out of bounds, Bensalem ball.
A lopsided final score as that one leaks out of bounds and Borelli will put it back in play.
Yeah, 3 dominant wins for Pennsbury.
A
Or
lot.
4 dominant wins, excuse me, for Pennsbury, and this was their biggest test, and they passed it with a big A+.
Nice job there by Rishi Patel. Works the paint and gets the bank shot. Cuff picks it up over to Halwani, who hands off to Brendan Ryan. Baseline shot, yes. Wasilak makes it 59-34. So we mentioned earlier all the starters able to score, guys off the bench able to connect. And there's Rishi Patel with another bucket, and that will bring us to the end of this one. Big win for Pennsbury, 59-36, the final. And the Falcons move to 4-0, get ready to take on their rivals, Neshaminy, at Neshaminy High School on Tuesday night. Well, big thanks to everybody for being with us tonight on WBCB. And thanks to all of our sponsors, including McCaffrey's Food Markets, Team Toyota, St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, BCWSA, Discount Auto, The Trentonian, East Coast Printing, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Berg Pizza, and Ben Goldstein talking with our DiLorenzo's player of the game. And tonight that's going to be Sean Breslin. a great defensive performance, had a handful of blocks. And on the offensive end, contributed as well. So Sean Breslin, our DiLorenzo's the Berg player of the game. You can catch that interview later tonight on the WBCB Sports Network here on YouTube. Thanks also to the Pennsbury Boys Basketball Parents Club, Lee Luckman and Medela Capital, and the Peruzzi Auto Group and Peruzzi Buick GMC with their year-end clearance, and to Puss in Boots Tavern. We thank them for their support as well. So the Falcons now 4-0. Bensalem falls to 3 wins and 3 losses here tonight. And the league put on notice with this big Pennsbury victory. And thanks to the crew, Ben Goldstein there with our player of the game interview, doing stats and analysis. Our video engineer, Gus the Bus Barber, and behind the camera, Makai Gundy. Appreciate everybody's efforts, and we thank you for being with us tonight here on WBCB. Sending out holiday wishes to everybody. We got a few more basketball games to get to before we hit the holiday break, but I don't know, I'm feeling that holiday spirit tonight and hoping everybody has a great night. One final time from the Falcons' Nest, it was the Pennsbury Falcons 59 and the Bensalem Owls 36.